It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. In Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 through 29, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of them to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. Now, after he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone. And the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Now this miracle is not primarily about Peter. It is about Jesus. The disciples were alone in the middle of a storm. The wind was violent. The waves were crashing against the boat. These were experienced fishermen, yet the scripture says they were terrified. And here's something important that many people miss. They were in that storm because Jesus told them to get into the boat. They were exactly where Jesus sent them. He knew the storm was coming. Then in the middle of darkness and fear, Jesus comes walking to them on water. The storm that felt overwhelming to them was under complete authority to him. Jesus didn't remove the waves. He walked on them. Fear caused the disciples to misinterpret his presence. They thought it was a ghost, but he said, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." The one standing above the storm was God in the flesh, standing in chaos. You see, fear overwhelmed Peter when he stepped out into the water and he began to sink. Peter cried out and Jesus grabbed him immediately. He didn't stand to wait for Jesus to improve. He didn't let him sink to teach him a lesson. He rescued him instantly. That is grace. When Jesus stepped into the boat, the storm stopped. Not when Peter tried harder, not when the disciples became fearless, but when Jesus entered the boat. Peace is found in the presence of Jesus Christ. Storms still come, fear still rises, but Jesus still walks towards his people in the middle of all of it. Storms do not mean that Jesus is absent. The wind may be relentless, but the one who stands above the storm is already coming. Have a great day.